Welcome to TimeBeat Breaking News Channel. Here are our breaking news today.
1. A COVID vaccine milestone will be reached in the United Kingdom every day. 2. The pandemic could claim the lives of 9 million people.
COVID-19. A COVID vaccine milestone will be reached in the United Kingdom every day. The United Kingdom is on the verge of reaching a landmark in which 3/4 of adults have received their first COVID-19 vaccination. It is expected to be released the day after no deaths were reported within 28 days of testing positive for COVID-19 for the first time since July 30th of last year. According to the most recent government data, more than 39.4 million people have received their first dose, accounting for 74.9% of adults. In a speech on Wednesday, Health Secretary Matt Hancock will praise the NHS's central role in vaccine rollout and say the government has backed a lot of horses, investing, at risk, in various projects. His remarks come amid ongoing debate about whether the final stages of unlocking restrictions in England can take place later this month, due to concerns about the spread of the Indian variant. Mr. Hancock will speak at the Jenner Institute in Oxford ahead of the G7 Health Ministers meeting, which will be hosted by the UK later this week. The Health Secretary is also expected to discuss how the NHS has earned every accolade that has come its way, as well as the country's scientific strength. Boris Johnson, according to Downing Street, sees nothing in the data to suggest that the plan to end all legal lockdown restrictions in England on June 21 will need to be postponed. The most recent death toll is likely to factor into ministers' discussions about loosening restrictions. They will also take into account the fact that the announcement of 0 deaths comes after a bank holiday weekend, which may cause a delay in reporting the figures. Experts are split on whether the final stage of easing social restrictions should proceed in the face of an increase in cases of the new variant.
COVID-19. The pandemic could claim the lives of 9 million people. The official global death toll from COVID-19 is 3.5 million, which is horrifying. But, according to a new scientific review, that's only half of the story. According to researchers at the Institute for Health Metrics and Evaluation in Washington, the global death toll from COVID-19 had already reached 6.93 million by the 3rd of May. According to their research, the pandemic will claim more than 9 million lives by September. Some scientists have disputed their claim, which is based on the number of excess deaths. Nobody with any credibility, on the other hand, denies that many national COVID death statistics aren't worth the paper they're printed on. The massive undercounting was highlighted on Tuesday when Peru's official death toll from COVID-19 nearly tripled to 180,764, making the country's per capita death rate the highest in the world, according to Johns Hopkins University data. The government said it was updating its death toll, which stood at 69,342 as of Sunday, in part due to a lack of testing, which made determining the cause of many deaths difficult. Peru, on the other hand, is far from the only country that publishes official figures that vastly understate the number of coronavirus deaths. Experts may continue to disagree about the true global COVID-19 death toll. However, with the COVID-19 pandemic still ongoing, it is clear that this pandemic has far surpassed the new flu strains of the late 20th century to become the deadliest pandemic since the Spanish flu 100 years ago.
Thank you for watching. We help you stay up to date all the news hourly. Please subscribe our channel to follow up the latest one.